it is getting quite dark now, but I really want to do this video, so put up with it. This is going to be a weird one though, because I have not been able to read this comic. I tried to read it, but I got 3 or 4 pages in, and then I got annoyed, so I stopped. But then I thought, well, the video, it can be me getting annoyed with the comic. This is Excellent Force, issue number 4 by Robert Liefeld. This is part 2 of the crossover with Spider-Man. I started reviewing it yesterday, and the Spider-Man part, it had really, really good art by Todd McFarlane. But this one, it has really, really bad art by Robert Liefeld. I mean, even the cover is terrible. Well, in all fairness, you meant to turn it sideways. Oh, look, it is still terrible. The thing is, in comic gates and stuff like that, a lot of people are massive fans of Robert Liefeld. They defend him and they think that all the criticism is unfair. But the thing is, all those old blog posts or all the memes, they're very accurate. He's awful. Like, this is terrible. Like, look at Cable's leg here. It is twice as big as his torso, and like, his crotch is there, so why is his back all the way back there? And then you've got Spider-Man. Is Spider-Man crawling on a wall like the bottom half of his body suggests, or is he in a mid-air jump like the top half of his body suggests? It's stupid. And I've only just noticed right now, actually, that foot there. So this is impossible. There is nothing good on this cover. Well, maybe if you conveniently hold it like that, so your thumb covers up Domino's hips and waist, that's passable. Like, her arm is still far too long, but like, you could get away with that. This comic though, it continues to... well, first thing, you've got to turn it sideways, and that is brilliant. I love it when comics do that. And we open up with this page here, this dynamic shot of some of the characters. Thunderman, Wolfgirl, Shatterman, and Spider-Man. And the thing is, Robert Liefeld, if you don't look at his art for long, then it can be completely fine. It looks fine. But the minute you start looking at it for too long, you start to see all the obvious problems. Like, if you only saw this image for 2 seconds and then never saw it again, you'd think this is good. But if you look at it for more than 2 seconds, you see stuff like Spider-Man's legs again. Like, what the hell is this? Like, again, that is impossible. And Robert Liefeld, he has an obsession with male arses. He draws them all the time, and they're always like, it's weird. I'm not saying that he is a closet homosexual, but he might be. And like, look at the arse here. One cheek is massive and the other's tiny. And then you've got other things. This is something that he does all the time. The sword here, very straight. Yeah? But if you look, Shatterman's hands, they're angled. So the sword should actually be coming down there. And then you've got stuff like Thunderman. His leg, his entire leg just goes missing. It's dreadful. And then we've got a double splash page of the Juggernaut. And the thing is, the Juggernaut is a character that you can get away with exaggerated proportions on. And the thing is, again, if you look at this for maybe 2 seconds and never again, you'll think this is good. But look at it longer and you see all the same problems again. Like, Shatterman's sword here, the blade seems to come out of the completely wrong part. And then you've got whatever the hell this part of Juggernaut's arm is meant to be. And then it's all pretty much downhill from there. We've got this thing. He always does this, Robert Liefeld. He is a lazy, lazy artist. So what he does, he will have a character's face completely shadowed, basically just as an excuse to not have to draw it. And why is he squatting in such a weird way? And look at Spider-Man's pose there. That is, his legs are touching his arms, and and then Wolfgirl there, right? Her spine is twisted there. She needs a doctor. And then we've got Spider-Man fighting Juggernaut, and there is, we should get a little counter going, the amount of arse shots Robert Liefeld squeezes into this comic. So we're on 2 so far. Was there any on the cover? Well, you kind of get that a bit with Spider-Man, so we're on to 3. There wasn't any on the double splash page. Was there any on here? No. So we're 3 arse shots at the minute. 1 of Juggernaut and 2 of Spider-Man. And you can see he's avoiding drawing the faces again, and oh god, yeah, the thing is, you keep noticing stuff that you didn't notice before, and it annoys you. What the hell is going on with Juggernaut's body there? Like, there's his arms, where's his body? Like, why is it, oh, this is so annoying. And there's another fantastic pose for Spider-Man. Bing, 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 another arse shot, we're at 4. And what's the scale here? Like, Shatterman and Thunderman, they're a completely different size to Dominoes. And then we've got another double splash page. Thunderman throwing Shatterman. And it's just annoying. Look at Shatterman there, right? Try and do that with your body. You can't. Legs do not bend this way, like the way he's drawing them. It's awful. And the sword, again, look. The blade doesn't seem to actually come out of the hilt. Then Thunderman is another character you can get away with having exaggerated proportions, but this is just bad. Look at his arm there, that is just blobs, and his legs, well, the legs are made worse by the fact that the arm is covering where they presumably end. So the thing is, the leg looks like it could potentially be as wider than the arm, and so bad. Almost getting an arse shot there, but I'm not going to count that. An advert. These are like the high points of this comic. Then what the hell part of the body? What the fuck is this meant to be? It's the Juggernaut, but is this meant to be his arse again? I think that is his arse or his crotch. I'm counting that as an arse shot. So now we're up to 5. And look at that hand there. That is, it's ridiculous. And Juggernaut, he is angry, and he has massive tits to go with it. Then we're with Cables, and it's that thing I mentioned in the other video. Robert Liefeld, he has a disease. He cannot draw characters the same way for more than 2 issues, so they're always changing costume. And the thing is, this story, it started in issue 3. Then there was a Spider-Man issue, then this is issue 4. And there's been no downtime between it, but somehow Cables, he has come up with a completely new armour in a completely different colour. And it's just so bad. This is bad art. And there he's doing the shadow thing to avoid drawing the faces. And that's probably a blessing, really, because look at that face there. And then he does this all the time. He gives characters really thin guns, and it looks stupid. And arse shot there, bing, 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 6. Look at that there, that body. Why are the legs so massive? And the head's like a peanut. And look at that face. Oh, God, it's even worse here. The legs are huge, they're thick, they're like buses. He's walking around with buses. And his stomach's so tiny, and oh, there's dead pills. There's Juggernaut, and look, he's obscuring the face again. And right, this thing here on his hand, this is meant to be like part of his costume. It's meant to be like a glove thing, but why is his fingers? Oh. And then Thunderman, right? He's got feathers coming out of one shoulder, but not the other. And this girl here, Squealy's daughter, we talked about her in the Spider-Man part. This is something he does all the time. You'll have a character flying or something like that, but in an angle specifically so that he doesn't have to draw most of the body. Another advert. And then, look at that. That is a arse shot. So we're on to, I think, 9 now. I think I might have missed one on the last page. No. 9 arse shots, and look at Thunderman there. Like, the feathers are out of, and like, his arse is there, but he's bent over. Like, if he was bent like that, he would be dead. And Squealy's daughter there, what the hell is she doing? Sort your feathers out, Robert. Another arse shot, we're on to 10. Oh, this is so bad. And there's an exciting page of Robert Liefeldman's faces. And he obscures one. And... Right, he's holding the gun. How's he meant to be holding this gun, for starters? Because it's like coming out of his chest and he's pointing it down. But if you look, he's holding it left-handed there. But in this one, he's holding it right-handed. And they're sequential. This is... we're just missing... I'm not counting that as an arse shot, but we're just missing one there. There's dead pills again. What the hell is going on? No one's leg is that long. And then we've got a standoff between Shield and Cables. And, well, it's not much of a standoff because he's pointing the gun at the floor. His face is obscured, so is Shatterman's. Oh, it's awful, this. And then we're on to the saving grace of the issue. A pin-up by a different artist. This is really, really good. You've got Wolf Girl, Cannonballs, Shatterman, Cables, Dominoes. This is really good. And then we have got double letter page. I mean, I will say this to Robert's credit. He had a lot of fans. The thing about Robert Liefeld is he is kind of like a cautionary tale. He is someone who could have been a good artist, but he was lazy. He wasn't willing to keep on learning. He was happy just putting out rubbish like this. He wouldn't listen to criticism and he had no interest in putting in effort. And this is just awful. This comic is dreadful. And it's a shame. It is written by Fabian Nicieza, who is a good writer. But the art is just terrible. I'm going to have to rate this comic 7 thumbs up.